capability and a flexibility you carry in terms of uh, identifying the right objects and elements required in setting up the infrastructure. So you have to be very clear what your business and which business are you in, what all components are required, how easily flexible are they. They shouldn't be rigid, so that those processes to set up that kind of capability around. I'll take an example. Suppose you have to set up a branch somewhere in a remote corner of some part of the world. You have to see the capabilities around. You need to put the checklist in place, get that checklist in order, and how you are going to connect that branch to the entire world is more important, and how people will be brought in, how you will manage to run the operations, backup of the operations, how resilient is the setup, the infrastructure, what is a fallback plan if that infrastructure collapses. So, I mean, these are the key elements which is required, and then subsequently you charter the roles and responsibility basis this setting up the infrastructure for the people who are going to set up the infrastructure. As a leader, when you define the roles and responsibility of setting up the infrastructure, digital technologies which are helping the businesses right away are the ones which are something wherein human to human stuff has actually taken a backseat, and more of uh, contactless piece has been considered more sane and divine, and that's where we need to look at like contactless payments, contactless deliveries. Mm, uh, these are fundamentals, and it has gone down to the fundamentals of life in terms of the way you deal and treat people around in the business. So digital technologies have emerged so strongly and so profoundly that that now gradually the processes which used to take a backseat in terms of getting digital have to become digital, because then they should not become a bottleneck for the business to move on. So the best way to move on is to go digital. How your customers or how your clients deal with you in future. I mean, more or less now the meetings would be global clients would prefer not traveling and would prefer having it through Zoom calls or Google Meets or Teams and whatnot, whichever tool that would become a new normal. So the customers which are going to be keen on your solutions would be keen on meeting you virtually, and gradually the delivery of the product will take another shape of being more drone oriented, coming in more non-human oriented deliveries. The policies will completely go for a reshape, not only from the policy stack standpoint but also from the skill stack standpoint. So the 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 the, the current IT organization in the organizations will have to be reshaped and reshaped in such a way that they work from anywhere in the world. I mean, you don't have to be tied up to a location. You can work from your village to you can work from your small town, and more IT policies should become on demand policies rather than you investing heavily on capex. You invest on opex part of it. Uberization of IT will happen in respective organization, wherein more of on-demand IT applications and infrastructure would be required. That would mean at any given point of time, you know the IT cost at any given point of time, and you know how to invest further in new technologies rather than everything on capex and running it for years. So your policies will change. Now with that comes another caveat of security. So when things will go completely digital, the value of security will take a jump start, and you need to secure your assets, you need to secure your data, you need to secure your ecosystem from your customers, partners, employees, and whosoever is your stakeholder. So security will take another level of evolution, and the policies against the securities have to be redrafted, recrafted, because everything gradually will tend to become virtual. And once, and if you not start, if you haven't started working on being virtual, you would be out of the market. So both security and regular policies have to be reshaped, made more demand, more OPEX oriented, wherein you know the cost of your IT at a real time level rather than having a capex investment and running that cost for over a period of 4 to 5 years, which whatever is your depreciation cycle. So the SOPs will change. SOPs will change in such a way that the on demand will create, like, I need a Java skill for 2 hours. So SOP for Java skill would be different. Like, I'm hiring a Java guy for completely on the payroll, and that SOP would be different. So gradually IT teams would become virtual and more on demand. So the skills will become on demand. The management may be on the payroll, but gradually I'm seeing CIO as a service coming in very soon. That's why in my SOPs and policies, there has to be a reshape of IT security policies and SOPs, because like many heterogeneous devices getting connected, the monitoring and management of those devices becomes a norm, because any compromise on one device can take you away from the business any day. So, I mean, predominantly with work from home being a norm, would require a lot of protocols and security controls, which needs to be pumped in the security policies, which gets injected through your network or your applications, and and it has to be controlled at a device level. I mean, you can't you can't be exposed to your organization data or network with any number of devices. You have to put a control. Now, with COVID situation in place, people have a bit eased out setup, but and they have eased out the lot of their policies by passing certain exceptions. But those exceptions have to be a kind of a solid risk assessment has to be done, and see the evolution of workforce. So the security teams and the IT teams have to work very closely with the risk manager, management team, the HR team, the partner team, the sales team, very closely, and see how the emerging market models, business models are evolving, and accordingly imply and comply the security policies within the organization. They will definitely mature and would be more secured and more valuable to the organization in terms of remote working and remote collaboration with various functions. See, there is a tech part of it, and then there is a human part of it. Gradually, the workforce who are not going to meet in person and work remotely globally, uh, there has to be a kind of a way wherein this collaboration becomes more human, and people would start loving working on remote collaboration technologies. So, uh, because when you are talking to the person on the other side, you don't know the person, who is he, who is she. So that those remote collaboration technologies um, would become a new normal, and that's how the world will evolve working with this, because uh, world is not going to wait for another pandemic or any other major breakdown in the economy. World will continue, and that's why remote collaboration technologies will become more profound, more mature, more secured, and much more valuable in terms of growth of humans as well as the world. It's just not tech BCP. It's about how people work remotely, how people manage things remotely, especially in the sales side, in the sales side where they used to meet in person every time. How are they able to manage their meetings and converting the sales? So BCP actually became more profound and more sane at this point of time. And doing a proper security audit definitely is the need of the hour, because with the current situation, a lot of leakages in terms of exposure of data and exposure of setups, whether it's from the technology side or not from the offline side of the world, the exposure has been huge, because you have to dilute your security policies to do business and to stay relevant. I am again using the word stay relevant. To stay relevant, you have exposed a lot of, or you haven't complied a lot of your compliances and risk. have to let go a couple of risks, because to be in the business, you have to do it in a different way. So a security audit is a must, maybe once things settle down, and see where all those leakages are, where all those gaps are, and you have to fix it, plug it. With the emergence of the evolving market landscape, you need to configure yourself to make sure those BCP audit controls are in place, your business is not affected. And the way market landscape evolves, you have to put controls for futuristic security audit, so that you are able to manage the business and continue the is the essence of BCP.
For more updates from CXO TV, please like and subscribe to our channel.